I'm tracking a contour line to try to harvest some of the water that runs off this road. This road runs up, there's a torrent of water and rain going from about, I don't know, a quarter to a third of a mile up the road. Catch all of the water from the center line to this side of the road, comes barreling down hill, barreling right on past trash and all sorts of debris going with it, and entering in a property where I don't really want it to come. So starting right here, I'm at a contour line I flagged in white. So I'm looking at removing this side of the hill down below the level of my feet, having it slightly slope back towards the camera. So all of this material is going to get taken out. The H-brace is going to remove. That also opens up this to be a wider gate to allow for larger equipment to come in. And then if you look at these white flags, these are all at the same level as the road. So as this, I'm going to dig down at the white flags, maybe slightly above them, but I want this to be lower than where the flag touches the ground. Not the actual flag up here, but where the flag touches the ground. I want to lower that by a couple of inches. Maybe pull that material up on the road so the road's actually going to slightly slope towards the hillside. Water will stay on the downhill side of the road. So this road, if it sheds water, is going to come to these white flags. White flag, some of these got taken out in my last little bit of work. White flag, and then there's more white flags that went over there. But all of this is going to be graded down. Where I'm standing might be 2 inches lower, 3 inches lower than where I'm at right now. Here, maybe 4 inches lower. We're going to smooth this out, have gradually the water come in here. So water that comes off the roadside, just 25 feet that way, rushing down the hill, instead of continuing to go off the property where it's turning into a flooding liability, we're going to pull it onto the land. And yes, I might get some trash in here. This was just dug about 2 weeks ago. It's not in good soil. The cover crops are just barely struggling to take off, but they'll eventually work. This will recover with vegetation. But water's going to come in here. I'm going to discharge this in that direction, but in the process of doing so, before it discharges, you leave some juniper limbs across the spillway. And what that's going to do is that's going to filter out your styrofoam cans. It's going to filter out your plastic bottles. That's going to filter out a lot of the floatables. So this is going to accumulate trash, but I'd rather have the trash caught and accumulated here and concentrated in one spot where it's easy for me to clean up this 100 square foot, 200 square foot area, rather than leaving litter all the way down the creek, all the way into Red Bluff Creek, all the way in the Medina River, causing problems all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. But it's not really the trash that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the water, and I want to store it here. So this turns a flooding liability and erosion problem into a groundwater asset, where it's then going to gravity irrigate all this stuff out towards the camera. And any plants that I plant in here, even with this nasty white, nothing but caliche, can't even get my hands into soil. This, if you add a little bit of water to it, maybe a little bit of organic matter and lots of life and biology and a standing cypress and Engelmann's daisies and native wildflowers and little blue stems, will eventually recover. Right now it looks real rough, and that's okay. I like the different bumpy surface area for places to grow. But eventually I'm going to rake it kind of smooth. I'm going to top dress it with some nice mulch, and especially some cover crops. They're going to grow up through the mulch. This is going to be a lot more vegetated. And now I'm going to turn a flooding liability into a biologically filtered groundwater asset.